Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to this presentation. My name is Justin Dickerman, and today I'll be introducing you to MANTECH and our automated analytical solutions for laboratories, effluent treatment plants, and drinking water plants. MANTECH is a manufacturer of laboratory, portable, and process-based analyzers for water, wastewater, and soil samples. These analyzers are running standard approved methods at accredited laboratories. We are based out of Canada and have over 2,700 analyzers installed in over 50 countries around the world. We estimate that over 600,000 samples are analyzed every day by MANTECH instruments. We specialize in developing fully automated solutions for performing standard method analysis of multiple parameters from a single sample vessel. Our company mission is to generate the highest quality results in the shortest amount of time possible. This enables our customers in having significant positive economic and sustainable impacts on their businesses and the communities they support. To provide a brief overview, MANTECH's analyzers are organized into three main product lines. Our MT titration and multi-parameter system, shown at the top, is our most popular product line used for performing wet chemistry analysis of multiple parameters from a single sample. These systems would most commonly be found in environmental, agricultural, manufacturing, and pharmaceutical laboratories. The system is modular and easy to use, maintain, and understand as it completes analysis of hundreds of samples fully autonomous without a need for an operator to be present. It is this MT series product line that will be the focus of today's presentation and demo. The second product line you see on the far right is our automated BOD system, which automates the preparation, measurement, and data organization of the standard method 5-day BOD test. This includes the addition of dilution water, seed and inhibitor reagents to sample bottles, the use of a level sensor to ensure those bottles are perfectly full, automated dissolved oxygen readings, and software to perform all the necessary calculations and organize your data. These systems range in size from 11 to 90 bottles for standard 300 milliliter BOD bottles. And the final product you see at the bottom is MANTECH's PCOD analyzer, which performs a proprietary method of chemical oxygen demand using safe green chemistry and an advanced oxidation process. This revolutionary instrument can also be set for rapid 10-minute BOD estimation, providing valuable results for optimization of BOD testing in environmental laboratories, as well as directly to water and wastewater engineers working in treatment plants. This slide provides a visualization of MANTECH's goal of providing end-to-end water analyzer solutions, meaning that we are using the same technology and green chemistry from systems in accredited high-volume laboratory operations to smaller benchtop operations located directly in treatment plants and manufacturing facilities to the online autonomous setups that are analyzing and providing results in real time with no operator intervention. By applying the same sustainable concepts and methodology across all scenarios, we ensure the highest quality results are attained for our customers in both private and public sectors, while also reducing their overall environmental impact. I'll now go into a bit more detail about our MT series environmental analyzers, which perform automated wet chemistry analysis of single or multiple parameters on large batches of samples. These systems are quite versatile in how they can be set up, and MANTECH's goal is always to deliver an automated solution that perfectly suits your lab's needs. Our specialty is being able to perform numerous different tests from a single sample vessel. This is achieved by our use of small volumes, low concentration reagents, and highly precise automated features to efficiently measure what is needed from the available sample. Our instruments fully conform to ISO and standard methods and can also accommodate laboratory-specific methods or practices. Sample preparation, special handling before measurement, thermostatic control, and precise analysis timing can all be automated through our flexible MANTECH Pro software platform. These systems typically feature an XYZ motion autosampler that moves the analysis probes, reagent dispense tips, and sample aspirate needles between the sample vessels and a site for rinsing. MANTECH utilizes intelligent rinsing to ensure no carryover between samples, stopping only once the probe confirms a clean reading. The hardware on these systems is rugged, robust, and built to stand the test of time. It is very common for a MANTECH system to perform well for up to 15 to 20 years with minimal maintenance. Some of the more popular applications for these systems are listed here, with the most common being the combination of pH, conductivity, and alkalinity, which can be measured from only 15 milliliters of sample volume. MANTECH is proud to offer the lowest volume method for automated turbidity analysis, which is highly flexible in the sample matrices it's compatible with, from industrial wastewater right to treated drinking water. Fluoride, chloride, and ammonia are also common probe-based methods, which require less than 10 milliliters of volume each. This slide illustrates the three system levels that we designate the MT series into. The main differences in these system levels come down to the automation of both rinsing and pipetting, which ultimately means less operator time setting the system up for analysis runs. The MT10 features static rinsing sites which are manually filled by the operator, as opposed to the MT30 model, which brings in the dynamic flowing rinse station, delivering fresh rinse water with a pump. The MT100 takes this a step further by introducing a high-precision piston-based pipetting pump and a separate analysis vessel, allowing the operator to simply free pour the samples into their tubes and then press start. I'll go into a bit more detail on each of these system levels. The MT10 model is our lowest cost configuration for budget-tight scenarios, and those where the number of samples makes it economical to consider a lower level of automation. This model utilizes a set of static rinse sites, which the XYZ autosampler dips the probes into in sequence. The quality of the water in these sites is monitored by the software as it rinses the probes between each sample. And if a user-defined threshold is reached, then the system will pause and wait for the operator to come refresh the rinse water, then press the resume button. All analysis methods occur directly in the sample vessel, which means that this model is limited to one destructive analysis per sample, which would be titrations or other analyses which involve adding reagent to the sample volume. This system model does contain all waste within the sample vessel, which is beneficial if the samples are high strength or hazardous. The MT30 system configuration is the next step up in automation, while still keeping the system within a fairly low budget. This model utilizes the dynamic flowing rinse station at the rear of the autosampler bed, used in place of the static rinse sites on the MT10. This rinse station is fed flowing rinse water by an automated peristaltic pump, which provides consistent quality rinsing between every sample analysis. This dynamic rinsing allows the system to handle much larger sample batches and a much wider range of sample matrices with no concern about sample carryover. The probes provide a real-time indication of how clean the water in the rinse station is, and the pump will keep delivering rinse water until a user-defined threshold is reached. This ensures the probes are in the exact same clean state before moving to each sample vessel. Like the MT10, this model features in-beaker analysis, capable of one destructive analysis and/or multiple non-destructive analyses per sample. With this level of automation, we are also able to accommodate any variety of sample vessel on the autosampler, including customer-supplied vessels. Many of our customers have opted to have their MANTECH system designed to utilize the same vessels the samples are delivered to the lab in, to eliminate the need for operators to transfer sample between vessels and save time. The system you see here has the capacity for 122 50 milliliter vials, and we have numerous larger autosampler models allowing for higher volume vessels and sample capacities. The MT100 represents our highest level of automation, where we enable the testing of any number of destructive analyses from a single sample vessel. This is achieved by introducing a high-precision pipetting pump, which draws sample out of the tube to a separate analysis vessel. This analysis vessel is also attached to the same dynamic rinsing pump as the rinse station on the autosampler bed, and features a pinch valve drain at the bottom of a conical glass cell. This ensures that all sample is quickly and fully evacuated from the vessel before starting the rinsing, and draining the rinse water as well. The combination of the pipetting pump, bottom draining analysis cell, and dynamic rinsing combines for what we call the TitraSip module, pictured on the right here. Probe-based analysis in the TitraSip requires only 10 milliliters of volume, and multiple analyses can be run back-to-back in the TitraSip with dynamic rinsing in between. One of the highlights of the MT100 model is our popular 15 milliliter tube system, which features 212 15 milliliter sample tubes on our smallest size autosampler, with the full system occupying less than 1 meter of bench space. This is the model we'll be showing in a demonstration at the end of this presentation. One of the more popular applications that we automate with our MT series analyzers is turbidity. MANTECH is proud to offer the T10 Turbidity System, which features the lowest volume requirement of any automated turbidity solution on the market. Only 40 milliliters of sample volume is required for the T10, and the large majority of that sample volume is returned to the sample vessel unaffected. This allows the sample to be used for further analysis on the MANTECH system or elsewhere in the laboratory. We utilize a reversible peristaltic pump to quickly draw the sample up into a vertically oriented flow cell. A few pumping steps push a small amount of volume to waste to ensure that no air bubbles remain in the flow cell. Then the T10 meter uses internal averaging of readings to produce an accurate NTU result. The meter also takes successive measurements to ensure the sample reading is stable before saving it. The pump then reverse pushes the sample back into the vessel on the autosampler bed, and the intake needle is moved to the dynamic rinse station to rinse the flow cell. The user-friendly T10 meter can also be used separately from the MT system as a benchtop meter, with user-adjustable settings for settling time, averaging, and storage of up to 1,000 results. Some more of MANTECH's commonly requested chemistry methods are listed here. As mentioned previously, all of these analyses conform to both ISO and standard methods, and we can also support laboratory-specific methods and practices. The MANTECH Pro software platform provides a user-friendly interface for selecting which tests you would like your system to run, and different selections can be made on a per-sample basis. For laboratories with specific requirements, we are happy to work directly with your operators before a new system is installed to understand the workflow of your laboratory and ensure the system performs in the ideal manner to optimize your operations. I will take a minute to recap on some of the main points on MANTECH's multiparameter capabilities. Our systems are designed to allow for efficient analysis of individual or combinations of parameters, and additional parameters can be easily added to the system at a later date in a modular fashion. The setup and automation level of the system defines how many analyses it can perform per sample. For example, the MT100 setup can support any number of destructive analyses per sample, such as multiple titrations. We also have the ability to combine multiple TitraSIP modules for simultaneous pumping and analysis, rapidly speeding up analysis time per sample. The lower cost MT30 and MT10 models are limited to one destructive analysis per sample, though non-destructive parameters such as conductivity and turbidity may be analyzed together on these models. When approached by new customers, we will ask questions such as what analyses are required and how many samples they will run for each parameter, and what kind of time per sample is desired. We then assemble our modular system to best suit their needs and budget, often with multiple options to consider. I'll now highlight a few key advantages of the MANTECH MT titration and multiparameter systems. These systems feature robust, reliable XYZ autosamplers, which do not require any moving of sample vessels to perform analysis. Once they are on the sampler bed, they stay put. MANTECH also has the ability to introduce thermostatic control on the autosamplers via a water bath add-on. For our titrations and highly precise injections, we utilize a stepper-driven burette with a resolution of nearly 100,000 steps, allowing us to accurately dispense as small as a microliter of volume. Customizable titration settings ensure a smooth, accurate titration curve is achieved each time while also minimizing the time to do so. The software also allows for dynamic control of different parts of a titration curve and fully customizable endpoint detection. A common requirement that we fulfill is that of separating conductivity and pH measurements to ensure no effect of one measurement on the other in a low ionic strength sample. Our TitraSIP module performs accurate pipetting, analysis, and dynamic rinsing all in one unit. With this and the MT100 configuration, there is no limit to the number of chemistry parameters that can be analyzed from a single sample vessel. And in order to improve sustainability and make the transition to MANTECH that much easier, we are happy to accommodate any low-cost or customer-supplied sample vessel. I'll take a moment on this slide to highlight the large diversity of customers that MANTECH is proud to support, including many Eurofins and SGS labs worldwide. Our customers for the MT series analyzers are typically accredited, audited laboratories in both government and commercial settings, often running many hundreds of samples per day. For our autonomous online analyzers, we take the same tried and true chemistry methods used on the MT platforms and perform them directly in a sealed cabinet. A combination of two TitraSip modules allows us to continuously draw a raw sample from a process line or holding tank into an overflowing vessel inside the cabinet. From there, we pipette an accurate volume to a separate analysis vessel for probe-based analyses or into one of our measuring meters such as the T10 Turbidity meter. The MANTECH Pro software allows the user to define intervals for sampling, calibrations, QC checks, and other maintenance functions such as special cleaning and priming of the lines after a period of non-use. Shown on the slide here are a few examples of customers with online analyzers installed. The Biofuels Plant and City of West Palm Beach analyzing their wastewater effluent, while the cities of Toronto and Halifax have setups at drinking water plants monitoring multiple streams, both incoming source water as well as treated water going to the distribution system. These setups are also supported by benchtop systems configured with identical methodology for the analysis, establishing the true end-to-end solution that MANTECH strives for. I'll now take a minute to discuss our PCBOD Automated BOD5 analyzers. These systems are intended to automate the standard 5-day BOD analysis method. This includes the option for automating the preparation of samples by adding dilution water, seed, and inhibitor, while using a liquid level sensor to ensure that the bottles are filled to the exact same height every time. The system then performs automated reading of the dissolved oxygen of samples before moving to a dynamic rinsing station to prevent carryover between samples. If preferred, there is also an option to skip rinsing and save time when performing reads of multiple dilutions of the same sample. The BOD software organizes all sample information, including volumes of sample and reagent, DO readings, and all associated calculations to determine the BOD5 result. A reminder comes up in the software when your samples are due for their final DO readings after 5 days of incubation, and sample results can be easily exported to a Laboratory Information Management System, or LIMS. MANTECH also offers a dual probe model of the PCBOD analyzer to double the sample throughput of a system. Autosamplers range in size from 11 to 90 places when using the standard 300 milliliter BOD bottles. For many companies and laboratories, there is a huge benefit to having a near real-time estimation of BOD5, and this is where our PCOD analyzer comes in. This patented technology performs an advanced oxidation of a small volume of sample, utilizing both green reagents and safe chemistry to measure the extent of oxidation in real time. After only 10 minutes, the sample is fully oxidized, and the PCOD produces an empirical result for either BOD5 or COD, depending on what is needed by the user. The highly accurate method produces results to an accuracy of plus minus 5%, with a lower detection limit of 0.7 milligrams per liter and an upper detection limit of 15,000 milligrams per liter, which can be further extended through the use of pre-dilutions. PCOD does not utilize any hazardous reagents such as mercury and potassium dichromate, which are both found in common methods of COD analysis. The PCOD technology is driven mainly by this component referred to as the PCOD sensor. This sensor contains a small volume analysis cell with a thin layer of UV-activated nanoparticle titanium dioxide. In the presence of a UV LED lamp, this acts as a photocatalyst, enabling the rapid oxidation of all organic species in the sample. The powerful oxidizing potential of titanium dioxide ensures that all species of organics are fully oxidized, giving a true empirical measure of oxygen demand. MANTECH continues to invest in nanotechnology research and development with university partners to improve this analyzer and integrate further testing capabilities into its compact and easy-to-use design. MANTECH has also developed an integrated solution with both our PCBOD system for automated BOD5 analysis and the PCOD for BOD estimation. The biggest benefit of this configuration stems from a real-world scenario that occurs for a large number of labs that are running many BOD5 samples per day or week. Often for these laboratories, a certain percentage of the incoming samples have a consistent known BOD value. The rest of the samples coming in have an unknown BOD value. And in order for the laboratory to perform the BOD5 test and ensure a valid result is attained, they must run a larger range of dilutions for each of these samples. This is where the BOD estimator aspect comes in. With the ability to rapidly estimate the BOD of these unknown samples, laboratories can drastically reduce the number of dilutions and bottles required for each sample, leading to a vast reduction in time of analysis for their full sample run. This also leads to less operator time preparing bottles, less reagents used in preparing those bottles for analysis, and less space occupied in the sample incubator on a daily basis. All of this leads to improved sustainability and reduced waste throughout the BOD sampling process. Here we have listed some of the numerous applications the PCOD is being used in. For municipal settings, it provides a rapid, accurate measure of incoming COD to a treatment plant, which allows plant operators to respond in real time to changing conditions. This especially factors in during large-scale weather events that can lead to dramatic variations to the incoming organic matter. As with the case of the BOD estimator package, the PCOD is also being used for discharge compliance and enforcement, in one case being used to trace high-level COD discharges through the sewer system back to their source. Due to its high sensitivity and low detection limit, the PCOD is also well suited for potable water analysis and reuse applications. For industrial applications, the PCOD is a low-cost green alternative to the dichromate COD test that can be placed directly in operators' hands and obtain the results they need. Because of its robust design, easy-to-use interface, and rapid response, the PCOD can truly be applied as a reliable tool to produce COD results wherever they are needed. This improves a plant's ability to optimize processes, prevent upsets, and comply with discharge limits to avoid hefty surcharges and fines. For large-scale operations, the PCOD can be attached to our XYZ autosampler and combined with other parameters such as pH and turbidity for unattended analysis of sample batches. The use of PCOD protects laboratory operators and eliminates hazardous waste. You can see some of the well-known names of our PCOD end users in industrial settings here, with applications across petrochemical, pulp and paper, aluminum manufacturing, and food and beverage industries, just to name a few. In all these cases, the company was already performing COD analysis either on-site at their facility or at an external lab, and often using the hazardous dichromate method. The PCOD enabled better control of these processes due to the rapid 10-minute speed of the test, and operators felt more confident using a safe method in eliminating waste. In certain processes, such as COD feedstock control and nutrient optimization, PCOD was found to greatly improve the use of resources and lead to an increase in overall profitability. In certain petrochemical settings, the PCOD is used to rapidly detect leaks from one process to another and prevent upsets before they occur, avoiding hundreds of thousands of dollars in lost productivity. This was not previously possible with the 3-hour dichromate test. In many cases, companies are able to use the PCOD to regularly verify their compliance with effluent limits and improve relationships with the municipalities that receive their wastewater. In drinking water applications, PCOD has been noted to act as an optimized total organic carbon or TOC measure that provides valuable feedback to plant operators on the reactive fraction of TOC that is known to affect treatment to greater extents. The PCOD also provides a level of water security with its high sensitivity to volatile organics, which can be used to warn treatment plants of environmental contamination. In 2017, ASTM International released method D8084, specifying PCOD as a new organics monitoring tool, complementary to the other measures such as TOC and specific UV absorbance, or SUVA. It is now being applied in numerous plants to monitor fresh water from surface and ground sources, characterize storage ponds, and improve treatment efficiency to prevent the formation of disinfection byproducts. The idea of green sustainable impacts summarizes well how ManTech approaches our customers to implement solutions that benefit their company the most. Our environmentally conscious methods reduce reagent usage, eliminate waste, and improve sustainability of the lab by increasing throughput and productivity. Our user-friendly software and easy-to-understand hardware allows operators to find the best balance between rapid analysis speed and high-quality results, all leading to improved profitability overall. For industrial customers, our robust instruments provide rapid results directly to the operators that require them. ManTech provides end-to-end analyzer solutions that are well suited to any scenario, optimizing results and protecting our environment. Thank you for your time listening to this presentation. Here you can see our website and contact information. Please do not hesitate to reach out to us if you have any questions or would like to learn more. We will now move on to the live demonstration of our MT100 Environmental Analyzer. Hello everyone, and welcome to the demonstration of our MT100 Analyzer. This analyzer is performing pH, conductivity, and alkalinity analysis, and it's doing so out of 15 milliliter sample tubes. This system features our smallest size autosampler, and with the 15 milliliter tubes, has a total sample capacity of 212 sample positions. The conductivity is being measured directly on the autosampler arm by using a dip-style conductivity probe located right here. This probe has a 5 millimeter diameter, meaning it can measure directly in these 15 milliliter sample tubes. The system moves the probe in and out of the sample a few times to initiate mixing, and then waits for a stabilized reading from the meter before saving the measurement. After the conductivity is measured, an accurate pipetting pump located on this module right here brings a 10 milliliter aliquot of that sample up out of the sample tube to the separate analysis vessel located up here. In that vessel, you have the ManTech pH electrode, a thermistor for temperature compensation, a paddle-based stirrer for mixing the sample, and a dispense tip for adding of reagent for the alkalinity titration. That reagent is dispensed by our burette module, which is located right here. That burette module has a resolution of nearly 100,000 steps, meaning that it can dispense as accurate as a microliter of reagent for the titrations. The software dynamically controls the injections performed by that burette to ensure a smooth and accurate titration curve is attained each time. After the pH and alkalinity are measured, the system will move the autosampler arm back to a dynamic flowing rinse station located at the back of the autosampler bed right here, and then it initiates its rinsing procedure. As that rinsing proceeds, it's actually measuring the conductivity of that probe and determining when the system is fully clean and ready for the next sample. And only then does it proceed to the next sample. I'll go ahead and bring you in for a closer up view of the next sample as it runs. There we go. So you can see it coming out of the rinse station and moving to the next sample right now. Here you can see the rapid mixing initiated by dipping that probe in and out of the sample. And then we have the conductivity meter over here, waiting for a stabilized measurement as indicated on the measurement bed. The conductivity measurement was taken, and now we have a pipetting pump right here, pumping that aliquot of sample up into the separate analysis vessel up here. It drains the priming volume, and then it dispenses accurately that 10 milliliters of volume required, not just for the pH measurement, but also for the alkalinity titration. The alkalinity titration is what really needs the accurate volume. It dispenses that volume, and then you'll see the paddle-based stirrer start up and start mixing the sample, stabilizing it for the pH measurement. Once that stabilized pH measurement is taken, it'll start moving into the titration, where we'll see this burette module here dispensing certain certain amounts of titrant to create that smooth, accurate alkalinity titration curve. For more complicated systems, we would feature perhaps 2 of these analysis vessels or multiple burettes, depending on which chemistry parameters are needed to be measured. You can see now the burette performing its injections and changing those injection sizes based on the change of pH attained from the last one. And as that's proceeding, we'll come over to the software where we can see that titration curve happening in real time. The system provides real-time action updates on what the system is doing, including total sample time, total run time, and real-time readings from the probes as it performs these measurements. There you can see it dynamically changing the size of the measurements to ensure that smooth curve is attained, and it'll continue that way to the end of the alkalinity titration, after which it'll move into its rinsing procedure, perform the rinsing required to get the probes clean for the next sample measurement. You can see here the 212 sample capacity, and you'll also notice that this last vessel here is a different color than the other ones. Now this is to designate, or rather to show, the MANTECH system's automated ability to store itself at the end of each sample run. It knows to either go to the next tube or it can be a user-designated storage position. To bring that storage solution, pipette it up to the pH electrode and ensure the system is fully stored and ready to run the next run right away after this one is completed. Just finished its measurement now. You can move it back to the dynamic rinse station. It's draining the sample volume from that vessel. And then rinse water is pumped into that vessel. Fully rinsing everything in there while also fully rinsing the conductivity probe down here. And then it'll move on to the next sample and continue that way through the rest of the run. I've got this other rack over here to the side to demonstrate the versatility with MANTECH systems being able to accommodate really any vessel that your laboratory prefers to use. We might use this style of rack for a laboratory that has less number of samples per day, but more chemistry parameters required from each of those samples. And you can see we've got some low-cost drinking water cups that you can obtain from your local grocery store, sitting on the same rack as our standard 125 milliliter cups. And then alongside these customer-supplied cups that we recently made a system to accommodate for. Here you can see our automated turbidity solution. Not currently connected to the system, but if we wanted to, we could just put that right up on the shelf next to the burette there, and it would have an aspirate needle just like the TitraSip module here, which is performing the pH and alkalinity analysis. It would draw the sample up using this peristaltic pump right here into a vertically oriented flow cell, which is located inside here. I'll go ahead and bring it out just to demonstrate. So the sample will flow up into that flow cell there, and then a series of short pumping steps ensure that no bubbles are in there, and then the sample measurement's taken. Afterwards, it is reversed flushed out of that cell back into the sample vessel, and it's unaffected, so it can be used for further measurements such as pH, alkalinity, or other measurements that you have to do at your laboratory. So this system is designated as an MT100 because of the automated rinsing located at the back of the autosampler and in the separate analysis vessel. And also because of this separate analysis vessel and its ability to perform multiple destructive analyses because of that. If we were to compare this model to the MANTECH MT30 model, the MT30 would be performing that pH and alkalinity measurement directly in the sample tube on the autosampler rack right there, therefore not needing the separate analysis vessel and leading to a lower cost model altogether. With a lot of our systems, there's a good amount of storage located underneath or on top of this shelf here, which is good for storing your solutions and your calibration and QC standards. And a system like this is also able to accommodate multiple types of sample racks at the same time, just depending on what variety of measurements you're performing. For example, some laboratories have certain measurements that require larger volumes to be performed, for example, for low-level alkalinity analysis. And then other labs will want to perform these measurements off of the smallest volume possible, hence using the 15 milliliter sample tubes. Here we can see the software performing its next alkalinity titration. And if we wanted to, we can go back in here and look at our previous sample results very easily. And there you can see the pH, conductivity, alkalinity, and speciated alkalinity results, all saved in a table and updated in real time, so you can come and check on your system, see the results it's attaining at any time. You're also able to pause the system at any time using a pause button up here, or just stop the run altogether. Again, just an easy button. Thank you for tuning into this demonstration. We look forward to hearing from you about inquiries on our MT series analyzers and other product lines. Have a great day.